might be in a very different position.
People have less money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they have less disposable income. The other thing we've managed to do is keep entries, the price of entry down. It's £22.20 if you're affiliated.
But I suppose using that resourceful nature that you had to move it to a different venue with more resources and stuff, that is, core to being able to make sure it's, like you say, affordable in a place where things are only getting more and more expensive. Although people really value getting out, because I think entries for everything are up this year. So for example, London Marathon going to 2 days, that's been in the news quite a lot recently, because of oversubscription to the event itself. And there's loads of people saying, oh, well, people aren't turning up to this, people aren't turning up to that. But actually the industry is saying the opposite, is that it's really busy at the minute and people can't find a space to run.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that about your pricing, that you that's a driver for you as well to keep it down. You said about your feedback, and your marketing team pick that up, and they do it through Race Ahead, you said, which is really good. I've not actually heard of Race Ahead, so I'll have a look at them afterwards and see what their platform's like. When you finish a race, then what's the core thing that maybe you pay the most attention to, aside from feedback? So you got the feedback. What's the other thing that you pay attention to after the race? Obviously yours is a series. Let's say when the series is finished, where does your attention go to?
Well, what we usually do is have a meeting. Have a committee meeting and say, right, what was good, what was bad, what do we need to change for the next one? I'm hoping last year, because it was our first race one, anything that could go wrong went wrong. Absolutely typical. I thought, oh, what have I done here? We have a mobile radio turn up. Their van broke down. It was just, everything that could go wrong went wrong, and that was the day we had the adjudicator there.
Oh, okay.
And
so
the guy who
thing or
English athletics.
Oh, okay.
So the guy who won it didn't actually win it because he missed a bit of the course. I thought, oh, I don't believe this. Anyway, obviously we had a meeting and said, right, we took the bit he missed out, added another bit on and out and back. Race 2 was a lot better, and race 3 was full.
Wow.
That was the one I had.
Word had spread then, from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Word had spread by that point, which I guess, again, is another good idea to a series, because the first one gets people doing it, and then they talk about it. The second one brings more people along, and they get to verify, and then you get this word of mouth spread ready for number 3.
Yeah, that's why I ran out of medals.
So what I was going to say, really, what makes the entrants come back for race 2 and 3? Often it's competing against themselves, often it's competing against the club, or competing with a club. Do you think that they also come back for the overall experience of the day? Because it sounds like to me it's more than just a race. It sounds like it's a bit of an experience of a day. It sounds like somewhere where you spend more than just an hour and a half running the 10K. It sounds like you're going to spend a good half of the day there. Do you think they come for that?
Yeah, well, look, we also have a children's race.
Yeah.
It used to be called a fun run, but English athletics say you can't give prizes if it's called a fun run. So it's now,
It's meant to be non-competitive, right?
Everybody gets a medal.
Yeah.
Sweets. I do bags of sweets. But we're not allowed to give out trophies. And the kids love the trophies.
Yeah.
So I changed the name to a junior run.
And
they still get their trophies.
Healthy, I think. A bit of competition is really healthy.
Some of them are good. We have 6 different age groups.
Yeah.
And they win a little trophy. And the parents come with them. So they stay, which adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah. So it's kind of more of a family event then.
Yes,
and
yes.
Was that junior run part of the original fixture, or is that a decision that you made? That was
that was part of the original.
That's always been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good, and we get quite a few kids. They're our future. They're the future runners.
Yeah, and some of them are hard to inspire these days. And so I was talking to somebody just the other day about this, and how, rewarding them appropriately for the effort that they've put in helps a lot in making them come back to do it again, because, these days things are hard to remember because there's so much going on all the time. So if they've got something, and this isn't a shameless plug, but like a nice medal or a trophy or whatever that's there sat from the last year that has a branded name on, that looks bespoke to the event, they're going to remember that and go, oh, that was that fun one that we saw before, and I think I've seen that they're going to be doing that again this time. Instead, if it's something generic, it's going to be hard to remember what exactly that was that you did.
Also, because the venue's now changed to the football club.
Yeah.
The football club and the cricket club have junior teams.
Yeah.
So to get, my sort of theory behind it was, rather than sitting playing on a tablet or whatever kids do nowadays, they might be interested in joining the football team.
True.
Coming down to do training,
Yeah.
so they can plug that.
Yeah.
So it's getting kids out. The
Yeah.
other thing I introduced, and I did this when I started, was sustainability.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for me. We gave out bottles of water, tons of water. I stopped that. We asked people to bring a water bottle, and
Yeah.
we'll label it. I do provide cups, but they're compostable.
Okay.
That was when I got in touch with you guys.
Yeah.
And looked at wooden and slate medals.
Yeah.
So kids, we used to give out packets of Haribo. I stand in my kitchen making up little paper bags of sweets, and they love it.
Yeah.
You know, it really has gone well, and there's not a lot of tidying up afterwards. I get bananas
Do you think?
donated.
Oh, you get them donated?
Yeah, Waitrose.
That's really good. Again, something that perhaps other events don't realise is that things like that, for example, just by reaching out to certain companies, not being afraid to speak to people, they could end up wasting kind of crucial time and money that they would otherwise spend. And for a fundraiser like yours, it's important that these things are properly looked at as an opportunity. Somebody out there may really want this opportunity, like Waitrose, to do a community effort that they can, you know, write down on their books. And yeah, we did that. That's great for us locally. How many local events are we getting involved in this year? This many for the brand. That's brilliant. And it benefits you as well. Do you think there's other things that event organisers that you see or have seen waste time and money on that they possibly don't need to?
I suppose it depends on what kind of race it is. If the professional groups in it for profit, then they should pay. We're a community group. Everything that comes in from entries for the race goes back out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be different if we were a commercial organisation.
You think you'd end up, you know, spending more money then and having or
people would expect you to.
You think they'd expect a higher production value perhaps from?
Yeah, it would be difficult to go to. I mean, at Waitrose, I offered anybody that wants to run a free entry.
Yeah.
To any of the races, so that goes down well. Yeah.
So you flicked onto sustainability earlier. I will ask about the medals and the awards and stuff. When it comes to those, how do you think about that for your runners? Obviously, when you were flicking to sustainability, that was one thing. When you consider your runners, does that play on your mind about where their sustainability heads are at all? Because there's different feedbacks in different markets. I was speaking to somebody yesterday from an event way up north, and they were saying that, you know, people really don't align with it in their race. And they said, and based on that, we've had to make a complete different decision. And then I spoke to somebody else and they said, our sponsors just say no, they don't want anything along those lines. I said, and I always say, respectfully, you've not seen all the options. I said, you're saying that you've been burnt once on this one thing and you're unlikely to try it again. Does that mean if you were in a relationship with somebody and it didn't work out, you'd never be with anyone ever again? No, not really. Different companies provide different services. So do you think about how other people are taking into consideration medals with your event and awards and stuff?
Well, I didn't give them much choice, to be honest.
Yeah.
We had wooden medals. We got a lot of feedback. A lot of people didn't like them. They wanted interconnecting medals because it was 3 races.
Yeah.
And I have harped on, and I said, can get you any sort of medals you want.
Yeah.
But they come from China.
Yeah.
Their carbon footprint is horrendous.
Yeah.
Because they're metal and they're heavy. And I'm stuck with a garage when numbers were low. If we were ordering 1,000 medals, we had 650 entries, 100 of them didn't turn up. I'm like, what did I do with these?
Yeah.
We end up in landfill.
Landfill, and even if they get recycled, it's high energy cost to recycle them as well. Where do you take them to recycle them? Because a lot of the time they've got the enamel on at the same time. And And again, you're busy enough without having to deal with that too. It's not just about the money side of it. It's about the logistics of you've then got an extra task that's now come from what you were trying to make cheap and easy has actually become a bit more expensive and a bit more hard.
Well, I hated the waste, and we did get a lot of criticism on our website, and it was along the lines of that's them just trying to be cheap and blah, 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 blah. And I wrote a piece for the website saying, actually, they're more expensive. And I just explained, I said, what do I do with 400, 500 medals that I can't, unless you want them next year?
Yeah.
What do I do with them?
Because
they end up in landfill.
And that affects your turnout for your repeat event as well. So you're on a real balancing act then between, fine, okay, I'll do what you say. Yes, it'll be cheaper and I'll have them. But what, you want to come back for the same medal next year? No, you don't. So actually, by me saving money with this, I'm actually going to lose out on money with that because I'm not allowed, unless you air freight it in, which is way expensive anyway, you're not going to be able to have that flexibility to do what you need. And they just don't exist in the UK in the same way. We even looked at it a little while ago because we were having we were looking at, you know, clubs that we'd lost with our medals and stuff. And we were like, if we were looking at metal medals, what would they have to be like and where would they have to come from for us to even think about being happy with that moral decision? And obviously being in the industry for about 10 years now, I've got the contacts. I have people in my inbox all the time going, hey, do you want some metal medals? I'm sure your customers would love them. And I'm like, they would if they were actually made of recycled material. You're actually able to prove it in the first place, which you never can. And if you can actually get them over here with a low carbon footprint and the amount of I said to, happy to have a price off you if you can actually show me where the metal came from. They go, we can't. We can only show you that it's clean metal. And I said, well, that's no good. That doesn't show me the sustainability behind it. And you're missing the point of what future generations are beginning to care more about because we're learning more about it and it's having an impact on how we make our decisions. So, and parents, I suppose, when you've got children's races and adults races, parents will begin to be even more led by their children's viewpoint because the children come home from school talking about bottle recycling, they've got wheel events, they've got co-committee at school and stuff, and they're talking sustainability all the time. That's going to begin to sit in the parents' minds. So if you're not ahead of the curve, you'll be behind it. And it won't be long, I think, before England Athletic start to put in some sustainability criteria that the events need to meet.
As you know, because we've been working together for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, some of the people who were criticising and calling me tight and all that, well, I'm Scottish, of course I'm tight. That's a fallacy. Turned up every year. They still turn up.
Yeah.
And now nobody really comments on the medals. The kids love the medals. Doesn't matter what they get, they love them.
Yeah.
The adults, it's a medal. I did say to one guy, I've got hundreds of them. Come round and pick one if you like. I mean, it's just nuts. Now they pay it no heed. They really don't bother. They do